Rimjhim suddenly panics, worried that Samir might notice the handprint mark. She fears that if he finds out it belongs to her instead of Amayra, he will get extremely angry. In a hurry, she tries to erase the mark before anyone notices. She warns others to stay away and not make the situation worse. There is already suspicion around her, especially from Chanchal Chachi. Rimjhim knows that one small mistake could expose everything. She realizes how important it is to keep this secret hidden. Meanwhile, confusion spreads as someone questions the truth about Samir's wife. The tension rises as accusations begin to surface. Rimjhim struggles to maintain control over the situation. Someone questions whether Samir might misunderstand everything. Rimjhim quickly tries to cover up the situation and dismisses the statements. She explains that some people tend to say random things and should not be taken seriously. However, deep inside, she is worried that the truth might come out. At the same time, preparations for photos are underway. People begin calling Samir, but he is nowhere to be found. They decide not to wait and continue taking pictures. A light, humorous moment appears as someone complains about their photo angles. They worry that all their dieting efforts might go to waste if the pictures are not perfect. Despite the tension, the atmosphere briefly shifts to something playful. Meanwhile, someone reminds that Samir was supposed to stay with Rimjhim and take care of her. But Rimjhim refuses to rest and keeps pushing people away. Her stubborn nature becomes evident as she avoids help. Someone jokingly talks about teaching how to control stubborn horses. This indirectly reflects Rimjhim's own personality. At the same time, Samir is being called again for photos. Rimjhim feels relieved that he did not see the handprint earlier. She realizes how close she was to being exposed. But the danger is still not over. The situation remains fragile and uncertain. Suddenly, the focus shifts as someone notices a high fever. Concern spreads as the condition looks serious. A phone call is made, asking someone named Prem to come urgently. The person admits they aren't feeling well and need support. There is an emotional tone as they express how important Prem's presence is. At the same time, a hidden plan is revealed. Someone manipulates the situation so that Prem never learns the truth. They want Rajveer to believe that Prem ignored him. This creates misunderstanding and emotional distance between them. The drama intensifies as secrets continue to build. Rajveer is asked to wake up and take his medicine due to his fever. However, he reacts angrily and questions why someone came to his room. He insists that it is Prem's space and asks them to leave immediately. His frustration and emotional pain are clearly visible. Meanwhile, another situation unfolds with Cartik. Someone questions why he is lying down and not responding. It is suspected that he might be pretending. There is tension as people argue about what is really happening. The atmosphere becomes filled with suspicion and concern. Everyone starts doubting each other's intentions. Rimjhim expresses concern about Kartik's condition. She reveals that his client has been trying to reach him without success. This raises doubts that something is seriously wrong. However, Samir reacts differently and assumes Cartik might be hiding after stealing jewelry. He criticizes Rimjhim for trusting Cartik and making secret deals. Rimjhim strongly defends Cartik and refuses to believe he is a thief. She suggests that he might actually be in trouble. Determined to find the truth, she decides to call the police. But Samir immediately stops her. He warns her that involving the police could expose her own secrets. Rimjhim gets frustrated and asks Samir to stay away from her. She questions his authority to control her decisions. Samir reminds her of responsibilities and tries to act logically. But Rimjhim refuses to listen and stands her ground. She makes it clear that she will do what she believes is right. Samir calls her stubborn, but she is not ready to back down. Their argument turns into a mix of anger and sarcasm. They start teasing each other with humorous insults. Despite the tension, there is a strange chemistry between them. Their bond becomes more complex with every interaction. The argument becomes more playful as they exchange funny remarks. Rimjhim calls Samir stubborn and compares him to a bull. Samir responds by teasing her back and calling her a wild cat. He then changes it to calling her a mouse, making fun of her. Rimjhim confidently says she is not afraid of his threats. She reminds him that she comes from a strong background. Samir continues his sarcastic tone, but also shows concern. He claims he is taking care of her out of humanity. Their conversation blends humor with hidden emotions. This playful fight reveals a deeper connection between them. Later, someone admires a beautiful photo that was taken. At the same time, Amayra becomes angry and decides to confront Rimjhim. She is determined not to let things go easily. Meanwhile, Rimjhim almost falls, and Samir catches her. She immediately pulls away and denies any closeness. She claims she is feeling dizzy to avoid further suspicion. There is a clear tension between attraction and denial. Samir teases her, suggesting she finds excuses to fall into his arms. He reminds her that they are married. The situation becomes emotionally complicated again. Amayra approaches Samir and expresses her frustration. She says she has been looking for him and feels ignored. She also mentions wanting to visit her parents. She explains that they were not present at the wedding. She believes taking their blessings is important. However, her hidden intention is to take Samir away from Rimjhim. She sees this as an opportunity to create distance between them. Samir agrees to go with her without suspecting her plan. This decision could change everything moving forward. The story ends on a suspenseful note, building curiosity for what comes next.